The cost of IT in business can be staggering. From hardware and software expenses to services like internet and phone, you don't need to spend a fortune on IT to succeed. If your organization spends more than $500 monthly on any service, or you're considering signing a long-term contract, IT Enabled can help you manage your technology and minimize your costs. Contact us today to schedule a free consultation. IT Enabled, we're here to help.
Hi, I'm Tara Watson-Watkins, President and CEO of the Lufkin, Angelina County Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to the Connect podcast, connecting business to the community. I'm here today with my co-host, Blake Pollino with BP Media Group.
Welcome back. We're so excited to have you back. This week, we have Michelle Briley and Brian Sear of Commercial Bank of Texas here on the show with us to talk about this bank, about how long-standing of an institution this is here in East Texas, how they're involved in the community, and much, much more. Let's get into that now.
Well, we're thrilled to have y'all on the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you.
Is it your first time on the podcast?
Yes.
This is.
Nice. Well, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, your background history, and then we'll get to talking about Commercial Bank.
Sure, love to. My name is Brian Sear. I'm the market president for Commercial Bank of Texas. I run the three counties, kind of this side of the river from Nacogdoches. I run Angelina County, Anderson County, and Houston County, which entails 7 different branch locations that we have, from Diboll, Elkhart, Palestine, 3 in Lufkin, and Kennard.
Okay.
And I've been with the bank for 28 years. Graduated from SFA right here, went back, got a master's from SFA, and I've been with the commercial bank ever since.
And you're originally from Connecticut.
I am.
But
I didn't know
we
that.
let
But I lost that
Found his
accent.
way back.
But we
Found
let
his
it
way
slide.
back.
Accent's
Yeah.
gone.
Had no idea.
Yes, found his way back.
Very cool.
How about you,
Super.
Michelle?
Michelle Briley. I do our business development and marketing under Brian Sear. So privileged to call him my friend and my boss, my immediate boss. So it's a great opportunity. One of the things when Brian hired me, he said, Michelle, I don't know how to tell you how to do your job, but I just know I want you to have fun. And I want you to enjoy what you do. I mean, every day is not going to be rainbows and butterflies, but I want you to enjoy it. And I want you to, and he was exactly right. I love my job. I love getting up. It's not one of those when it's Sunday night, and you're like, oh my gosh, Monday's rolling around. I've got to go to work. It's okay, what are we going to tackle today?
That's great.
So my background is actually in education.
Mm-hmm.
I was a first grade teacher and just decided I wanted a different path and did a few other things in between. And Brian was like, hey, come work for us. And so I landed here almost 10 years ago, if
That's
you can
hard to
believe
believe.
that.
Flies by.
It
Yeah.
flies by.
And you're
absolutely
you're a local girl. You're from Nacogdoches.
from Nacogdoches.
Yeah.
Parents are still there, so just being a part of Commercial Bank is just interacting with my friends and my neighbors.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
Very
The
cool.
actual words I think I used for Michelle was, if you're not having fun, you're not doing your job.
Yeah, that's true.
She's definitely doing her job because she's
She's
definitely having fun.
Definitely having fun.
Yep. You have to be living under a rock if you've not seen Michelle around the community having fun. So,
You're kind of like my mom. You hear you before you ever see you.
that's true.
And that's not a bad thing.
Nope.
No,
That's
it's a
not
great
a-
thing.
not at
That is
all.
a great thing. So tell us about Commercial Bank for people who I would have to be living under a rock if you're not familiar with it. But tell us about the bank, how long it's been around, and all that stuff.
Sure. We were established in 1901. Our original bank, our branch was in Nacogdoches. When I started with the bank, we actually only had that one location in Nacogdoches. And we had some opportunities to grow, and we bought some branches from some other banks, and we were able to develop some branches. We are now up to 23 locations.
Incredible.
We spread from Dallas all the way to Diboll. So
Okay.
we have probably 7 or 8 branches in the Dallas area, a bunch in the Nacogdoches area, and a bunch over here in the Lufkin area. And we really try to serve those communities that we're in.
Very cool.
Well, and we're thrilled that Commercial Bank is actually the large business of the year this year. So congratulations
Yes, we were
on
Thank
that.
so honored.
On that award.
Very honored
That was a
for
fun
that.
night.
Hard to beat Chick-fil-A with 2,000 people going through that drive-through.
Oh my gosh.
I was kind of surprised, but I work with some really, really great people.
You do.
So
You've got some
I
great
figure we had a
employees.
good chance.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
So what makes Commercial Bank truly a community bank?
Well, I think it's how much we give back to the community and how much we're involved. We encourage our people to find something that they're passionate about and plug in. And when they do plug in with something, we try to support them in that effort, whether it's financially, attending their events, but just encouraging them to give back to the community that we serve. And, we say this all the time about banks have all the same products. We all can give out loans, loan you money, deposit your money, all of that. But what sets us apart too is just our customer service and our belief that our customers are the backbone of our business. We wouldn't have our business if it weren't for our customers. And then giving back to our community, making sure that we really reinvest and show our people when they're out, they can be proud. Hey, hey, that's my banker out there ringing the bell for Salvation Army, or hey, he just did a loan for me, but he's out there coaching the Little League softball team. So it's just really being a true part of the community that we serve.
Yeah.
I love that. So how do you specifically get them involved like that? Are these just opportunities that you allow for them to do? How do you encourage that? How does that happen?
Well, I'll tag along with what Michelle said. If somebody asks me to support their kids' youth baseball team, and even if it's in Huntington and we don't have a location there at this time, hopefully one of these days we might, but or any community, no matter what it is if our employees' kids are involved and our employees are involved, my answer is almost 100% yes. Right. We will donate to whatever youth league it is, or school projects, you name it. We say yes to our employees so that they know we support them. And if we support them, we feel like it's reciprocated and they support the bank. And I'll tell you, we have great attendance at all our events. When we rang the bell, like Michelle said, for Salvation Army last week, we just had tons of employees say, I want to do it. I want to do it. And I thought, okay, they're going to fill up the time slots between 10 and 5 so that they don't have to go to work, and then they're done. But it wasn't that case. We had more people sign up for like 6 o'clock time slot and 7 o'clock time slot because they wanted to get involved, and it really brought the Christmas spirit to Commercial Bank. Yeah.
It's so obvious in our community which businesses give back and which are, because it's like almost everywhere you turn, you'll see that you're involved. And that's such a consistent thing. There's just so many things here in the community that are consistent among the people who are successful businesses. It's being involved in the community. I think I said this on our Leadership Lufkin podcast too. It's like there's always this common thread of you went to Leadership Lufkin, you're involved in the chamber, you're doing all these community things. And that's not just a plug for Leadership Lufkin, by the way. That's a true it's a true plug. But I mean, it's when you go back and look, we're sitting in a hallway where all of the pictures are, and I love standing here and just looking, and it's almost always, both of you have been through the program, correct?
And we encourage we actually have someone right now going through the current program. I mean, and that's a big deal, is for them to see, because sometimes people just don't know, especially if they're new here or they come from a position before where they didn't have the opportunity to be involved. They just don't know.
Yeah.
And so providing those opportunities like education through Leadership Lufkin, it's very important. And we want our people to know, and then they can come back and say, hey guys, we're doing this. Do you want to come help me and get involved? And it's just a matter of, I think, just educating and sharing, hey, we're doing this, come with us.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to just be because we're in a leadership position. It's a join us.
Be involved.
You're always welcome with us.
You walk the walk.
It's just like, one of the catchphrases that I learned, or that Tara was famous for saying when she first came to be the president of the Chamber of Commerce, was, you'll get as much out of the chamber as you put into it, and you will get more out of the chamber if you're involved. If you just don't show up to any of the luncheons or any of the events or any of the ribbon cuttings,
you've wasted
your money.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the same thing at the bank. If we just sit back and stay in our office, and I know some businesses that are like that, and they sit there and say, why am we not successful? The more people the more people are going to do business with you, and the more successful you're going to be.
Being active. The greater employee retention you have.
Yeah.
We were talking to Shane with Integra a week ago, and he was just talking about the fact that you hire proactive, not reactive. And I think you have to hire the right employees, but once you get them, then it's all the right ways to be able to keep them. and to be able to let them know that they are important to the organization. They're not just somebody that's filling a role or a seat there. They're actually important.
And we consider our coworkers and our employees part of our customer base as well. We do some special things that not all banks do. We do a yearly conference where we all come together. Like Brian mentioned earlier, we have 23 locations spread out, through our eastern footprint. And having that opportunity to have people that you talk on the phone with or that you email, but having that face-to-face time and then providing them with training opportunities, we get the benefit of being able to attend chamber universities and different conferences to grow and to better ourselves. But sometimes these frontline workers don't get that opportunity. So providing that once a year conference for them is a big deal, and we go all out. We try to make it like an actual experience for them that they would get.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of conferences, banking conferences, work conferences all over, not just in Texas, all over the country. And I would put our conference up against any of them. We have 250 employees, and they leave that experience and they are shocked to see that those kind of things are out there for them to do. We definitely do tuition assistance if they want to go back and get college educated. You've got a variety of employees anywhere you go. You got introverts and extroverts and all that, but our employees, the ones that want to take advantage of it, typically are more successful, kind of like we were talking about businesses. The more involved you get and the more active you are and the more you do, the more successful you are. And that's, how our employees, when you asked earlier about how we keep them involved, we let them know that we'll pay for those things for them if they want to get involved.
That's awesome. Well, you guys walk the walk of this. A lot of times we see it in our industry when we'll talk about businesses and marketing, and we'll ask them what makes you different than your competitors. And it's always, the stock answer is our customer service is better. It's like, if everybody's customer service is better, is anybody's customer service really better? That's like the stock answer. So a lot of times when we talk about community involvement with businesses, you got to be involved in the community, but you guys really walk the walk on that. And you truly are involved. But to ask you that question, so what makes your bank different than others? What makes you different?
Yeah, I don't want to give.
Don't feel like you can't say customer service.
I don't want to give that standard answer, but just like you said, we walk the walk. I mean, if you go to an event, there's not going to be one that you don't see a representative for Commercial Bank. I mean, we had one of our officers of the bank who has a very good customer, and he ended up in the hospital and needed to have a procedure done. So while he's in the hospital, he calls us up and says, "Hey, please, some of you guys go by this ribbon cutting or this, and sure enough, we had 6 or 7 people go to be at the ribbon cutting because he couldn't be there because he's in the hospital. So it's thinking about our customers and creating those relationships. I mean, tonight, I know I've got 7 or 8 employees that are coming to my house to actually make Christmas gifts for some of our title companies and appraisers and customers. And
it's a yearly fun event.
It's not just
signing that special box is coming to the chamber.
It's coming to the chamber.
Oh, cool.
It's not just signing a Christmas card and sending it to our customers.
Right.
We actually get together and actually put some time and effort into creating something for them rather than just buying something.
And it creates also a time for employee interaction.
That's right.
Outside of work. So it's something fun that we can look forward to each year to do. And, to talk back on what makes us different. And I just think the word that you said that comes to top of mind is relationships. When we have a new customer, or we bring someone on board, they don't just become our customer, they become part of our family. And that does sound cliche, but we mean it. And
it's the truth.
It really is. If you have a problem, think about Forest Festival, where we ran out of was it dollar bills? Hey, so on a Sunday we'll go up to the bank and open that up, and that's another example of being a community bank. You can call us. I think everyone has access to my cell phone number. Brian's too. We don't keep it hidden.
My cell phone is on my business card.
Yeah, mine is as well. Just because if people need us, we want them to be able to reach out and get a hold of us. Because I think sometimes that can lose its touch in all types of businesses. Yeah. Hey, press 1 to speak to someone, and you just want to talk to someone immediately and get an answer. And most of the time, I don't know that answer, but I can say, hang on, I'll find out for you.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, what makes us different? I had a chance to think while Michelle was actually talking. there's not many banks in town where you can go in and borrow up to $500,000 without it getting sent to another town, another state, something.
That's a good point.
Here with Commercial Bank, we have the ability to make a decision on the spot to help a customer right then. It doesn't have to be sent to some underwriter out of state or out of town. So we are one of the last ones that can do that, and very, very proud of that.
That's great.
I don't want to work for a company that I have the responsibility, but not the authority.
Yeah.
At Commercial Bank, we have the authority to take care of our customers.
Absolutely. And we all have most of us have our CEO's phone number. If we needed Rusty Russ, we could call him right now. And if he was available, he would answer. And that's a big deal, I think, when you get into a larger company, is having that access and the knowledge that he cares about you, and it passes down. It goes down through the hierarchy as well.
Yeah. And there's so much value in that. So if you're out there listening and you're a small business owner or people who are in our community, being able to reach out to people like this is so valuable. When we first started our business, we went down this path of like, oh, we're just going to bank with like one of the online banks that gives you the good interest rate and doesn't have physical locations. And that bit us in the butt so hard. Like we had the one time we had this a payment, a check come in from a large client, and this online bank that we dealt with at the time held it for fraud for absolutely no reason. And like, I couldn't get anybody on the phone. Like I was doing the whole chat thing. Like, hey, like our money is just floating in the abyss somewhere. And we need to know. And not being able to pick up the phone and call somebody local, like it was a gigantic pain. So needless to say, we don't do that anymore. But reach out to people like this who are local to you.
And we saw a lot of that
difference
during the pandemic.
Yeah.
When all the PPP loans came through and people were like, hey, we need this help. We need the money. And literally we had people working around the clock who would schedule 3:00. Hey, it's my turn in the morning. It's my turn to enter these. And that made a huge difference when people really needed it. Those local banks, especially, I know for us, we were right there. We were able to really help people that needed it.
Yeah, some banks, because it was such a new program and so complicated and we didn't know what the risks were, some banks avoided it for quite a period of time.
Sure.
Commercial Bank, we actually called our customers and said, hey, here's how you apply. Come on in. We will take care of you.
That's great.
Well,
awesome.
we love all of our friends from Commercial Bank and all that you do for us, not only as the chamber, but also for what you do for us as the community. So congratulations on being Large Business of the Year.
Thank you.
Celebrating
Thank you so
you.
much.
We'll be celebrating you all year long. But thank you for all that you do. And we love banking Texas style.
Oh, we do too.
Thank you. That's a
Absolutely.
great
Thank
catch.
you guys.
Thank you all so much. Appreciate your time. Thank you for listening to the podcast again this week. Make sure you're supporting local business, whoever it is. It does so much for our community and our local economy as well. Thank you for listening to the podcast again this week. We will see you next time.